What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode number 2 of NBA DFS Quick Bricks Podcast, brought to you by the good guys over at thesportsagendas.com. We have made it to Friday. We got a 9-game slate tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed Wednesday's version of the Quick Bricks Pod. 11 games on that slate. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, it's Friday. We have 9 games. I know everybody's enjoyed. Everybody's excited. We have a few games less than Wednesday, so I'm going to try to make this just a hair bit shorter than Wednesday's version. But once again, I know you guys aren't here to listen to my redneck ass, so hey, let's jump right into it. We got some really nice games tonight, so let's just talk about them. We got Charlotte traveling to Orlando. We got Charlotte coming in as a small road favorite here at 2-point road favorite with a total of 217. Few people I like in this game. Obviously, Kemba had a record night the other night, put up a gazillion points. I think he'll do that again tonight. He could. Orlando, they are very, let's say, not very talented at the point guard position, but they, DJ Augustine, Jerry Grant really is not a very good defender. DJ Augustine, for the most part, is decent, but and that's more, I think, what he's known for is his defense more than his offense. But you can still roll Kemba at 8.3K. I don't hate it. I like Jeremy Lamb at 5.5. If you want to go cheap, and Malik Monk had 33 minutes the other night, had a decent game at 4.7. Pretty nice value on him. For Orlando, obviously you're going to look at Aaron Gordon at 8.2. Had a monster game, played 38 minutes, most out of anybody. Had 26, 10, and 2 assists. Had a really, really nice game. Jerry Grant, even if you want to go cheap at the punt with a 3.5K, he played 25 minutes. Don't hate it. Mo Bamba had a 13-7 and 2 block game the other night at 4.7K. Pretty nice value there on him. It looks like they are committed to giving him some run. They like what he's doing. So Mo Bamba obviously have no problem with that as well. Vucevic, I just don't really feel like paying up for him at that price, and I think he's like 7.4, so I don't exactly hate the price, but I don't really like the play. Cody Zeller is a fucking tryhard, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on Vuce, and that's really all that I like in Charlotte and Orlando. So that we're going to move right along to the game that I really like. I think this one has just tons of value. Not just tons of value, but it's the second highest total on the board. Yeah. Well, it's tied for third. Sorry. Tied for third with Golden State and Utah with the highest total on the board. Sacramento and Pelicans and Cleveland and Minnesota have the two higher totals on the board. Anyways, New York Knicks at Brooklyn, 218 on the total, 2.5. Brooklyn Nets are 2.5-point home fave here. So we'll start there. Karis LeVert, he's a stud. Took 18 shots last game. Only other person to tie that was Spencer Dinwiddie, who I also like. But Karis LeVert, 6.3. He's putting up some nice games. His price has gone up, obviously. I think last year, I don't even think he broke 6K, but maybe a few times. Anyways, they're going to give him the ball. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell just kind of took a back seat to him the other night. I think they're trying to work this kid in to be their star and their stud. Jared Allen had a really nice game the other night, although I'm not as much on Jared Allen tonight. I know Cantor is a try-hard as well. I do like Cantor quite a bit, and I'll get to that here in a second. So, LeVert, Dinwiddie at 5.9 I think is still great. He's the first guard off the bench pretty much. So he saw quite a bit of minutes. I think that he has a decent value at that price. If you want to go punny with the Nets, Joe Harris took 14 shots the other day. Had a 13.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal line at 4.5K tonight. He's getting starter minutes, so I don't hate it at all. I think you can play Joe Harris if you want to. I think this game should see good pace. Obviously, Brooklyn was one of the tops in pace last year. New York Knicks was, I think, right outside of the top 10, or I think they were 11 or 12, if I'm not mistaken. So I like that. For New York, obviously I said I like Cantor at 7.4. Andre Drummond just had a 24-20 game against Brooklyn last game on Wednesday. So Cantor should have no problem in this game. I think he's a little pricey, but I don't hate it at all. I really kind of like it. I like Cantor. I liked Cantor the other night, and he kind of let me down. I expect a little bit better game out of him tonight, so I will be playing some Cantor. all of you know, and if you were in the Slack chat, you knew I was playing Tim Hardaway. I did not mention him on the pod, which I do apologize, but after going back and doing my builds, I played some THJ, and that paid off quite well. Other than that, I think there's a few punt spots, a few value spots. I believe the value spots are going to be Mario Hezonja, who I was on the other night as well. He took 14 shots, had a 15, 3, and 1 and 3 line. So that's not bad. 15 points, 3. I think that's 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. Hezonja he's a good basketball player. He's just stuck in a reserve role. But I think more throughout the season, and especially as long as New York is kind of depleted with no Kristaps. They're starting Lance Thomas, so he should continue to get some minutes. He didn't get a whole lot, but at 4.6K, hopefully he'll get some increased minutes. Kevin Knox, we saw him. He was on the pod. 4.8K tonight. He took 16 shot attempts the other night. He's going to. Definitely for that second unit, he's gonna shoot the ball. So Kevin Knox obviously is getting the volume on that second team. Another guy that kind of surprised me a little bit was Alfonso Trier. At 3.6K tonight, he played 26 minutes. That's a hell of a punt if you want to look there. Obviously, like I said, in this game should have a high pace. I think Alfonso is a pretty nice play there at 3.6K. Obviously, a nice punt. So that's where I'm going in New York and Brooklyn. Let's move right along. Sacramento at New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, everybody and their brother is going to want to be on the Pelicans because of AD. He's 11.6. I say everybody go for it. I mean, I hate to say I'm not fading him. I just don't think I'm going to be playing him because, honestly, I don't see a whole ton of value on the slate after going through my research and going through the numbers and looking through the prices on DK. All these prices are on DK, by the way. I do not play FanDuel for basketball. They can get it. They can get the fuck out with that drop the lowest score bullshit. This isn't 12th grade math or whatever, drop your lowest exam score. I play DK where they still have late swaps, so fuck FanDuel. I don't even care about it. Anyway, for those that like FanDuel, no offense. Anyways, Sacramento Pelicans, Elfrid had his triple-double. He's still 5.8K. So if you're thinking that he replicates that, go for it. My favorite play is Drew Holiday at 7.2. I really, really like Drew Holiday. Sacramento has been giving up quite the points to the shooting guard spot. Donovan Mitchell had a really good game the other night, even though he didn't hardly do anything in the first half. Still ended up with 24 points and a pretty decent line in the second half. So Holiday is my guy tonight. If you want to go cheap, look at Etuan Moore. He's 4.3K. He's starter minutes, and I think he scored in double figures the other night as well. So if you can look there if you want to. I really like quite a bit on the Sacramento side. I think you can look at De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is one of my more favorite plays the other night, and he put up 41 fantasy points, and I think he was only 5'9" or 5'9" or something. I don't remember his price, but he was fairly cheap. His price went up. It's 6.5 tonight. But once again, Elfrid sucks at defense, so I'm going to be playing some Fox where I can fit him in. He put up 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals the other night. De'Aaron Fox, I was very high on last year, and I'm not going to say faltered. He actually started to do really well at the end of the season, and I hope that he transitions that over to this season. I'm definitely going to be very interested to see, but I do like some De'Aaron Fox tonight. I like Willie Cauley-Stein at 6.3. He had a 23, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block line from the other night. He's 6.3K, not bad at all, especially for this kind of pace. I forgot to say, Pelicans are 11-point favorite, and this game has the highest total of 229. As we all would probably know, this probably will be a chalky game. So if you're wanting to play some Sacramento guys, expect some ownership, because obviously we saw the other night that they stacked up the Rockets and Pelicans, all PJ Tucker and everybody. They're throwing everybody and their brother in there. So Buddy Hield took 18 field goals the other night. Attempts, sorry. He's 5.6K. He's going to shoot. So, Buddy Hield, go ahead, throw him in there. Got no problem with it. That's about it. So, let's move on. Cleveland and Minnesota. 223 on the total, 8.5-point favorite by the Timberwolves, which is kind of weird. I think that's kind of a big number for Minnesota. But Cleveland showed a lot of good things the other night. One was Cedi Osman. That's one guy that I was not really sure about coming into the season, and a lot of people were playing him the other night. And kudos to those guys. I didn't play him, but he had a really good game. So, and he's still only 5.4K getting started minutes. Hey, plug away, guys. Kevin Love at 8K, who's he's gonna be there. He's gonna be at the volume. He's the LeBron now, so don't hate it. If you want to go cheap and look for the value plays, Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson, both at 4.8 and 4.7K. Hey, Jordan Clarkson played some pretty good minutes off the bench the other day. Most of anybody off the bench, I believe. 4.7K is quite fair. Rodney Hood, 4.8. Not really sure who is going to get Butler at the time, but it looks like maybe Hood, maybe even Osman. I don't know. So be wary of that. Also, if you want to go punny, you can go Colin Sexton, who saw 18 minutes off the bench, 4.5K. He took 9 field goal attempts, and I think he had 9 points or so on and so forth. Had a decent small line. Nothing monster, but and he is kind of pricey for his minutes. If he gets any more than that, he would definitely be a nice value, but for now it's a punt. So that's what I like on the Cleveland side. Looking at the Wolves side, Teague and Butler obviously are where I'm looking at for my mains. Teague at 6.4, Butler 8.1. There was talk of Butler being limited the other night, and I said this in the chat that he would play 28 to 30 minutes, and he played like 31 minutes. Do not believe what Tibbs says. Tibbs is a fucking liar. So play Butler if you want to. Don't hate it. He's still going to get the volume. The punt play, Derrick Rose played 30 minutes, had 12 field goals off the bench. Tibbs loves his Bulls, guys. So Derrick Rose, 3.9K. There you go, punt play. Get it in. Boston at Toronto. This game is going to be a low total. Boston games, guys, they're going to be low total defensive games, especially against Toronto. I don't really like a whole lot in this game. I like Tatum for Boston at 6.5. I think that's a decent price on him. But more than likely, he's going to get Kawhi and vice versa. Kawhi at 7.5K. I think that's a fair, very, very fair price for Kawhi tonight. He should see most of the volume as he did the other night. He played 37 minutes. Saw 22 field goal attempts, and that was by far the most on the team. They're going to go to Kawhi. He's the guy. So I wouldn't. You can play Kawhi. Go all out. Play all the Kawhi you want. For Boston, Tatum, I think you can play a couple punt guys. Well, value, I would say. Rozier and Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris is 4.4. He scored in double digits the other night. He's going to be a really great asset off the bench for them, as well as Rozier at 4.4. Both of those guys around the 4.5K mark. I like both. Rozier played 26 minutes, had 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. So Rozier had a really nice line. Like both of those guys. Moving right along, that's really all I like. I'm telling you, it's 207 total. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Toronto is a 3-point favorite. It's looks to be a tight game. Looks to be a defensive struggle. I'm going to pick and choose in that game and probably not play much. So moving on to Atlanta and Memphis. We'll start on the Memphis side. Really, really like Marc Gasol. Obviously, Atlanta is really just depleted at all their bigs. Alex Len is their starter. Marc Gasol should have an easy, make a field day out of this one. 7.2, love Gasol. Conley at 6.8. I'm not sure about Conley yet, and really I don't know if I want to pay almost 7K for him. I think I'll stick to Gasol. If you want to go punty, you can go Marshawn Brooks at 22 or 4.3K. Had 22 minutes off the bench last game. Also, Jaren Jackson Jr. had 25 minutes at 4.6K. I like Brooks a little bit better. You go with what you want. So on the other side of the ball for Atlanta, Trae Young, obviously. Look, guys, Trae Young, he's 5.6K. He's 5.6K. He's in the most gruesome-looking matchup against Mike Conley and against Memphis. But we know he's going to get the volume. He hit 33 minutes, most on the team, in their first game. Jeremy Lin had, 10 fucking minutes? Fuck that guy. Sorry, that really pissed me off the other night when they, I thought he was one of the best values on the board. I gave him out tons on the pod, gave him out in the Slack. Hey, sometimes you shoot and you miss. I really expected him to get more than 10 fucking minutes. So, and he still made good. With what the time he had, he still had a pretty decent line for 10 minutes. I don't remember what it was. I didn't write it down. But it wasn't terrible. He didn't put up a goose egg, but it wasn't good. And he was only 4K. So, anyway, Trae Young, Bazemore at 5.5K. I really like some Bazemore. I think this is a game you can plug Bazemore. If you want to get punty, DeAndre Bembry, 3.9K. He stepped in. Omari Spellman is looking to be doubtful. Like I said, they've already got tons of other injuries. No Dedmon, no Shabazz Napier, they're everybody. They're missing a lot of people, especially in the front court. So Bembry, look at him, 3.9. I don't think that's just a punt. I think that's a value play, a value and a punt all in one. But I see decent value there. Obviously, 3.9K for Bembry. I think he played 22 minutes. Don't hate it at all. I think you can play it. Moving along. Indy and Milwaukee. Yes, you can play Giannis. Obviously, you can play Giannis on every single fucking slate that you want to play him on. The guy is a monster. I do not have to tell you that. Middleton, Bledsoe, obviously, every single one of those guys played 30-plus minutes and saw over 13 field goal attempts. Hardly any of their bench played. The only guy that played the most off their bench was Ersan Ilyasova, and I have no problem playing him. He's 4.4K. He saw 29 minutes. 29 minutes is not bad. So Ersan, 4.4K, played 29 minutes. There you go. For Indianapolis, you can play Vic. I don't hate it, but at 8.5K, this 216 on the total, 3.5 from Milwaukee. I don't know. I don't know about Vic. I might pass on Victor Oladipo. My boy Sabonis, keep playing him. He's stuck around that 5.5 to 6K range. Tonight he's 5.9. Don't hate it. I can dig some Sabonis again. You guys know I liked him on the pod a lot last year, and the guy's he's smooth, man. Play some Sabonis. Also like Thad Young. I think he's a nice value play tonight. One of the better ones, in my opinion, at 5K flat. I like some Thad. I think he's in line for a decent game. So don't be afraid to look at him. Corey Joseph at 3.8, I think is a decent punt off the bench. If you need that salary relief, 3.8K, I think it's nice. He saw pretty decent minutes the other night. I don't hate that. So moving right along, I don't have to tell you guys who to play in that game. You already know. OKC at the Clippers. 215 on the total, 1.5 favorite for the Clippers at home. Yeah, I'm not going to get too crazy with this one, but I think, there's some nice plays in it. Obviously, Paul George at 8.7, sure, go for it. I really like Steven Adams here, man. 6.7, I don't really like his price. I love the play, hate the price. Obviously, Russell Westbrook is looking to be out again. I do not like Dennis Schroeder because what is his fucking name? The point guard for the Clippers is going to eat his lunch. So I'm not playing Schroeder. God damn, that's gonna bug me. Anyways, I can't think of his name right now. I was just thinking about it right before the pod. Anyway, not playing Schroeder. So PG Adams, I think Jeremy Grant is a great punt play at 4.1. Saw 29 minutes off the bench the other night. Obviously, they're in and out with their power forward spot. They don't know if they're going to play Pat Patterson, if they're going to play Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant saw the most minutes. I think Jeremy Grant will probably get to see some pretty decent minutes tonight. So at 4.1K, I'm on Jeremy Grant. Let's see. Clippers, Tobias Harris, obviously at 7.4. Lou Williams at 5.8, who let me down the other night. Only had 10 field goal attempts. So I was like, what WTF, mate? Like, what are you doing, Lou? I'm kind of iffy on that one. I might just wait to kind of see a few more games, see what the hell he's going to do, how he's going to play off the bench, how they're going to use him. I'm not sure. So Gallinari at 5.9, and you can also look at Gil Alexander. Shai Gil-Alexander off the bench. He played 28 minutes. He's only 3.K tonight. So if you want to punt that, I think he's going to be seeing quite a bit of minutes off the bench. They like him. I wouldn't be hesitant to put him in. If you like it, go for it. Last game on the board is Golden State and Utah. Golden State comes in as 2-point road favorite against Utah, total of 218. I like Joe Ingles at 6.1. I played Joe Ingles, or I actually played the small forward against Golden State quite a bit last season. That was one of the tops in DVP. I like Ingles. Rudy Gobert obviously should have a really big game. I don't think that Damian Jones can match down there real well with Gobert. Obviously, Gobert is just a freak mountain. So play some Gobert if you want to. Rubio let me down immensely the other night, so I'm going to go back to him because I think he's going to bounce back. We all know Steph doesn't love to play defense, so give me some Rubio. If you want to get freaky, you can go with Dante Exum. He played 26 minutes the other night. He's 4.3K tonight. And I don't hate Derek Favors. He had 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals, sorry. 18-9, 2 steals in 23 minutes. He's 5.7K tonight, so don't hate that. Absolutely, obviously, he might get some Draymond. So however you want to see that. I don't hate it, though. I actually kind of like it. So for Golden State, I don't have to tell you who you need to play. You need to play Stephen Curry, and you need to play Kevin Durant, and maybe play Draymond if you want to. 9.6, 9.7 for KD and Steph. It's up to you. So that's going to round out the games. Now let me go over just a breakdown of who the main ones that I was looking at for my top, not like top plays, but who I think are the better priced, the upper price players. Cantor, Willie Cauley-Stein, De'Aaron Fox, Drew Holiday, Kevin Love, Jason Tatum, Mark Gasol, Giannis, Middleton, Paul George, Steven Adams, even though he's a little bit pricey, and Tobias Harris, KD, Steph, Rudy Gobert, Rubio, and Joe Ingles. So for the values and punts, I'm going to be looking at Trae Young, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk, Mo Bamba, Kevin Knox, Joe Harris, Jordan Clarkson, Derrick Rose, Marcus Morris, Terry Rozier, DeAndre Bembry, Marshawn Brooks, Thad Young, Ersan Ilyasova, Jeremy Grant, Dante Exum, and however the fuck you say his name, Gilgeous Alexander for the Clippers. So there you have it. That is the second edition of the Quick Bricks NBA DFS podcast. As you know, this is Mitchell, whatever you want to fucking call me. My name is Sean, so you can just call me Sean. Anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys again later. Let's get that SD Slack check popping again. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I love talking about fantasy, so don't be shy if you are not in the chat. Get with us over at the Sports to Gens. We will get you hooked up, get you an invite to that Slack chat. You come in, chat with us, tell us who you like, see who we like. We have a good thing going over there, guys. So if you haven't, get in it, and I look forward to talking to you guys later. Have a great Friday.